Greetings everyone, welcome to the Untamed Entrepreneur. You join me from, I've already forgotten the name.
The Hauraki Golf.
Hauraki Golf, not golf, that's a Volkswagen. In Auckland, in New Zealand. And I'm here today to interview a good chap of mine. Hello everyone, welcome to the Untamed Entrepreneur. I'm here in Hauraki Golf.
Hauraki Golf.
Hauraki Golf, whatever. Near Auckland City in New Zealand. And I'm here today to introduce you to a good friend of mine. His name is Arthur Green, or Art to his friends. Both his friends. I want to chat to him for a few reasons and introduce him to you. Firstly, he's a good friend of mine and any excuse to have a chat with him. Secondly, it's a good excuse to get out on the water, which is always enjoyable. And thirdly, he's just a good bloke, and he lives his life, I suppose, in the untamed way. We're in one of his kayaks at the moment. I'm wearing his lovely life jacket, and yeah. So I want to
kayak.
You're going to get on the camera soon. Don't rush it. For now, it's about me, all right? Anyway, so this is Arthur Green. We're going to have a quick chat. It's not going to really follow any kind of script. I've got this fancy iPhone gimbal, whatever the hell it is. So excuse us if he goes out of shot, if I go out of shot, if you can't hear us. This is planned anyway, so anyway, I will now spin you around. Come on. There he is, what a chap, look at that. What a look at. Introduce yourself, darling.
Hello everyone, I'm Art Green. I'm the director of a company called Untamed. So we're a health food company based here in Auckland. And I'm also, how you...
Tosser.
A tosser. Yeah, I guess so.
He doesn't want to say because he's too modest. He's a bit of a big dog. He's a bit of a celebrity. What was it? B-list, C-list celebrity?
I think I've dropped down to D.
D-list celebrity here in New Zealand. He's what made you famous, Art?
I was on a TV show called The Bachelor, where I basically went out with about 21 girls, and then
They all left.
yeah, some of them just leave on their own accord. No, but it was a really interesting experience, and so I spent about 2 months filming that and going through a continuous cycle of dates, double dates, rose ceremonies and cocktail parties, which sounds great, but it was actually just an absolute mindfuck. But we've got 2.5 years on, and things have worked out really well for me and my current girlfriend who I met on the show, and it's also led to a lot of opportunities in life and in business, which I feel like I've really made the most of, and continue to do so.
Arthur, you're someone who lives life as you want to live it. This is my opinion, so correct me if I'm wrong. From the outside looking in, you follow your passions, your life is sort of by design. You very consciously choose the activities you do, the people you spend your time with, really importantly, the tasks you perform, the hobbies you do, excuse me. And obviously, for anyone who knows anything about anyone who knows anything about me and my mission is to try and get more people to live a lifestyle of that ilk. So I just wanted to talk to you about that and to ask you, is it a conscious thing that you do? Are you aware of the decisions you make as you go along? What sort of processes and steps do you take to make sure that the life you lead is exactly in line with what you enjoy doing and what you're good at?
Yeah, I mean, I guess probably starts back when I first met you, and that was when I was managing that gym in Western Australia. Middle of nowhere, surrounded by red dirt. And although it was a really great time in my life and I was able to do a lot of personal development, I just sort of figured out then and there that I wasn't really doing anything meaningful. I was really just working to make money and really, well, my life suffered, you know. And so what I did was I had a long sort of think about what I was really into, what I was interested in, and that was nutrition. And I wanted to do something meaningful whereby I could help others with their nutrition. So that was the first thing that I decided that my first thing was I decided what I wanted to do. So I came back to New Zealand and I joined in with a company called Clean Paleo, and we basically in the last sort of last 4 years have built up the company from a very sort of small startup making health food products to now having entered into the major supermarket chains here in New Zealand, and entered into the Australian market, the US market, and just about to launch into Singapore as well. So it's been a huge sort of journey over the last 4 years in terms of business, but it's never once felt arduous or felt like work, because it's something that I'm extremely passionate about. And I feel like I'm really making a difference in people's lives through nutrition and helping them, and yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk. I did a lot of due diligence before I made the final decision. But more importantly to me was that I wasn't too concerned whether or not the company was going to be successful at that stage. Some people probably wouldn't agree to that sort of mindset entering into a business, but for me it was more about a passion and seeing a need for creating good quality products, ones that were not there in the market. So I knew that it was an exciting opportunity to be market leaders in something, and I mean, I have been sort of following trends globally, and I could really see the way that things were going, especially nutritionally wise. So for me, it was pure excitement, and I wasn't too worried about looking at the long-term goal, but more that I was just really excited about doing something meaningful and working for myself. Looking back now, I'd say that I would definitely only be interested in investing in something where I would be able to spend my time doing what I enjoy doing. So I think the company or the role would definitely have to align with my own, my own lifestyle really, and my own interests.
And can you expand a little bit more on the importance of the fact that you are aligned with companies that are close to you and your personality? Have you ever aligned yourself with companies that aren't like that, and has that had an effect on how you feel after you've kind of helped promote them?
Yeah, I got some really good advice very early on in terms of choosing sort of value pillars that align with my values, and to only work with companies and products that are in line with these values. So
what effect does that have?
It's given me a lot of clarity. It means that I don't have this tough decision. Sometimes when opportunities sort of present themselves to me, I have a clear understanding of what ones I should make the most of and what ones I shouldn't. And this has been really useful for me in building a very sort of natural and organic brand that's sort of reliable and trusted and is true to myself. Because the last thing I have done, I'm pretty sure I've done like one post where it was for a beer company, and it was not me. I didn't agree with, it didn't feel right. And sure, I made some money, but at the end of the day, I felt like I'd been used. This company had leveraged my own personal social media platforms for their own benefit, and I felt used.
So what I'd like to interject there, if I may. One thing I'd like to stress is that whilst you may be listening to this or watching this and thinking, well, I'm not a social media influencer, why is this relevant to me? I'm not going to get paid to do posts for anyone. For me, that's not really too relevant because the same message applies to anyone who works for a company. If you're in a business that is misaligned with your passions or your purpose or your interests, if they have a different message to you, then that could have a similar effect on how you feel when you get home from work, whether you're proud to say what you do and tell people, and whether you're really passionate about it. So for anyone out there who's thinking it's not particularly relevant, have a think about your company and whether it's aligned with what you want to do and your purpose and values, and with the idea being that when it is aligned, things just seem to fall into place a lot more. You feel a lot more fulfilled and satisfied. Oh, I forgot to ask you, what score, alignment score did you get in the work-life alignment review?
88.
That's a good score. It's not as high as mine, but...
Not a competition.
Everything is a competition. Out there, folks, everything is a competition.
I was lucky in that I worked really hard and was able to free myself financially so that I was able to take up an opportunity to embark on a career and start into a business which I was heavily passionate about. And so, but I think that the key is just finding out what you're passionate about. And I think some of the stuff you do, Jimmy, is really great for figuring that out.
Care to expand for the audience?
No.
Oh, cool.
No, that's your job.
Darn. Somebody would do it for
No,
me.
but I mean, figuring out what you're passionate about, and like we were talking before about how you said, asking yourself how you feel after putting yourself in certain situations or doing certain types of jobs, and figuring out what actually you like and what motivates you, and then figuring out what that is. And maybe it's starting your own business, maybe it's working with a company that aligns with your own lifestyle and your own interests, but whatever it is. I mean,
So would you say that self-awareness is quite an important part of it?
Self-awareness is huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In terms of
just knowing, finding out and knowing how you feel.
Yeah.
And how certain things make you feel.
With the idea being that if you're not self-aware, if you're not aware of what your triggers are, what your interests are, there's no way you can kind of take that, learn a lesson, and then correct.
Absolutely,
self-correct
because I
as you go.
So many of us, and I'm myself, are no different. You can work away and you just have your head down the whole time, and you never once look up.
Yeah.
And you never really understand why you might be feeling a certain way, and you don't question that. You never question these things.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to do that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Green. Apologies, everyone. I am useless at using this thing. It does have a mind of its own. It's its fault, not mine. We're going to head back now. It's time for a cup of tea and a hot shower. Probably didn't need to tell you guys that. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. What's that? Together,
Showering
obviously.
together?
Yeah, big time. I hope you enjoyed it, and tune in for the next video. Give us a wave.
Bye-bye.